Yes, we're back. We are the lathorians. And yes, so where are you in the world? Where are you in the ascension process? What's going on the ground level? So we would say that there, as you understand, there are many different moving parts to everything that's going on at this moment. It's a well-oiled machine, and all of the different parts are functioning perfectly. And what we would say that's happening at this moment on the ground is something that you would not like us to say, but what's happening is love. You're seeing an outward aspect of love. You're seeing it play out on your streets. You're seeing it play out in everyday interactions. You'll notice that there's a lot more love in everything that you do. Even though you try at times to find things that are not love, you end up finding love in them somehow. And this is a good sign that things are starting to shift and change. You're finding love wherever you go. And so that's one thing that's going on. Of course, we understand that you do not want to hear this, that you don't want to hear more about love. Tell me about what's going on the planet. But first of all, we would say that it's really important to understand this from a multidimensional standpoint, that love is really happening. That sounds like a simple and easy thing to say. It sounds like a way of brushing everything under the rug, ignoring all of the problems, but it is the only truth if you were to look at this from a higher perspective. Okay, so now we'll take it down a bit. We'll take it down a little bit of a more of a ground view. What's going on is that all of your leaders all over the world, all of the leaders that were not aligned with love, are finding it harder and harder to do what they have done up to this point. So what it looks like on the ground level is that many who are working on the side that isn't love and light, many who are working to pull the wool over others' eyes, many who are trying to steal, trying to trick, are finding that their old tricks don't work anymore, and that they are easily caught in all of their different tricks. And this is what you'll start to see more and more, is that more and more people will be trapped, more and more people will be arrested, because it's getting harder and harder and easier. Well, it's getting harder for them and easier for you as humans to understand who is playing the honest game and who's playing a dishonest game. Up until this point, that veil, one of the 7 veils, but there are more, that are on your planet, the veil that is put over the darkness so that the darkness can be perceived as light, or so that you didn't even perceive darkness. You assume that everything is okay. That veil is being lifted. And so that's one thing that's happening. So many who have been working on the dark will be captured, and they will not be able to do that anymore, because that is not a part of this paradigm. So many of them will be imprisoned. Many of them will be captured. And many of them just will not be able to do what they've been doing. It won't work anymore. The old magic, that old magic doesn't work anymore. And this is just another iteration of love happening on the planet. Another thing that's going to start happening is a lot of your religions will start to be revealed as well. And this is something that's already happening on your planet. You're going to start to see what is behind all of the different religions on your planet, how they started. So it's a revealance of history, and it's a revealance of love, and a revealance of truth. And what it will reveal to you is the renewed ability. You've always had this ability, but the renewed knowledge that you can have a direct connection with the divine. You do not need a religion. You don't need a church. You don't need someone to stand in between. You never have. This is something that also will start to become more and more prevalent. And we would say that from our perspective, it's just love. That's just love. Everything is love. So that's that. Another thing that we would like to just touch on is the speeding up of time. As you all understand that everything is speeding up on your planet. But the reason for the speeding up of time is because there isn't as much a necessity for the time. You see, when the frequency is lower, there's more of a necessity for lower energy. There's more of lower energy equals longer time. You know, when you're having a wonderful time, for example, on this planet, then time flies, doesn't it? Time moves very quickly. But when things are hard and when you're suffering, time seems to move very, very slowly. That is, yes, because time is just a perception. And because the frequency is rising, that means time must rise as well. Because when you're in a high frequency, you're in love and you're experiencing everything so quickly because it's just so wonderful. And you want to experience more and more and more. But when you're in pain, when you're suffering, time slows and you don't want to experience so much. You want to experience less. So that's the other thing that we'd like to address. There are more things that we'd like to talk about, but we'll continue to talk about this later.